Today we are diving deep into one of the oldest, most controversial and fascinating cryptocurrencies. Whether you love it or hate it, you cannot ignore the fact that XRP is the world's third largest cryptocurrency with a market cap of more than $180 billion at the time of recording this video. So buckle up your seats and sit relaxed. It's going to be a long one. Let's get started. XRP has been in crypto since 2012, when the crypto world was very different. 13 years in crypto space is ancient. Bitcoin was just a few $100s and Ethereum was not even launched until 2015. XRP exists because of a big problem in cross-border payment systems like SWIFT. It's painfully slow and expensive. A SWIFT transaction takes days and costs a lot of money for completing a single transaction. So in 2012, 4 people saw this as an opportunity to create a better cross-border payment system than SWIFT and Bitcoin. They founded OpenCoin, which became Ripple in 2013. Unlike Bitcoin's gradual mining process, XRP is pre-minted with 100 billion XRP tokens. The founders divided 20 billion XRP among themselves in this manner. One of the founders chose a 2% equity stake instead of a 500 million XRP during that time, a decision he regrets even today. One of the founders sold all his XRP and went to create Stellar blockchain. Let me know if you want to see a detailed video on Stellar. And the remaining 80 billion XRPs went to Ripple Labs. Maybe this is the reason that for many years XRP was commonly called Ripple on centralized exchanges and even used Ripple's logo, creating confusion between the company Ripple and the cryptocurrency XRP. This confusion exists even today, but please note that they are completely separate entities. XRP is a cryptocurrency on the XRP ledger and Ripple is a fintech company and a major holder of XRP tokens. Ripple sells XRP to make revenue. To kind of solve this problem of supply dumping from Ripple's 80 billion XRP holding, Ripple locked 55 billion XRP in a cryptographic escrow back in 2017. Every month, 1 billion XRP is released and some percentage of it is sold in the market to keep the company running. So XRP token is simply used by Ripple to keep selling and raising money from the market. Ripple's grand vision is to create an internet of value, a system that can send money anywhere in the world as easily as sending as email. They wanted to replace the SWIFT system with something faster, cheaper and more efficient. Now let's talk about this and how XRP ledger works. XRP uses the XRPL consensus protocol that is not energy incentive like Bitcoin mining. XRP uses a trust-based system with 120 validators in the XRP ledger. These validators participate purely based on reputation and trust. They don't get paid anything. XRP uses ledger versions that record the current balance, recent transactions, and metadata. It's like taking a snapshot of the entire network state every few seconds and storing it. This makes XRPL transaction settlements within 3 to 5 seconds, and the XRPL blockchain can handle 1,500 transactions per second. In fact, Ripple claims that they can scale up to 65,000 transactions per second using some payment channels. And a standard XRP transaction fee costs a fraction compared to Bitcoin and Ethereum. These fees are only to prevent spam and slightly reduce the total supply since the fees are burned. This also makes XRP slightly deflationary over time. In the last decade combined, around 14 million XRP has been burned so far. But this is less than 0.02% of the total supply of 100 billion XRP. Unlike Bitcoin's blockchain that can only transfer just Bitcoin, the XRP ledger can transfer any form of value including the cryptocurrencies, fiat currencies and even digital representation of gold and commodities. You need a minimum of 1 XRP to create a wallet on XRP ledger. There are over 6 million XRPL accounts created, so 6 million XRPs are kind of locked in. XRP's ecosystem is not like other meme coin ecosystems in crypto. More than 300 financial institutions have joined the Ripple net. It makes sense too because these organizations and banking institutions have a need for faster global payment settlements. After SEC's legal concerns around Ripple selling XRP for revenue, Ripple launched RLUSD, their own US pegged stablecoin, to reduce Ripple's dependency on selling XRP for money. Ripple has also applied for a US National Bank charter and a Federal Reserve master account to expand its financial services. The UAE has also approved RLUSD for cross-border payments. But this makes me wonder if XRP will eventually just become a speculative cryptocurrency for gamblers. If that is going to be the case, then I don't think these gamblers are going to be normal crypto junkies, because XRP futures ETFs are available on CME. If you don't know, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, or CME, has been a global derivative marketplace for 100 plus years. To give access to even more professional gambler junkies, XRP has applied for a US spot ETF as well. Bloomberg gives a 95% probability for this approval, which won't be a complete surprise since XRP ETFs are already launched in Canada. Very recently in July 2025, XRPL also launched an EVM sidechain, enabling Ethereum-style smart contracts and DeFi applications. Users can now bridge XRP to eXRP on the sidechain and participate on the lending, borrowing, and yield farming. So XRP is a very widely available crypto, and many large institutions, banks, and money managers have relationship with it. That is why, even though it feels like the use case of XRP token is reducing, the price could still keep going up as long as some serious challenges are overcome by Ripple. Let's talk about those challenges now. XRP's future is tightly bound on the outcome of global regulatory decisions. Although Ripple recently won a landmark case against the SEC in the US and avoided XRP being classified as a security for public trading, Ripple still paid a $125 million penalty, highlighting an ongoing serious issue because similar regulatory actions or penalties could still arise from authorities in other countries, potentially impacting XRP's usage and acceptance. The fortune of XRP token is largely tied to Ripple Labs' business model, strategic decisions, and the ability to secure institutional adoption, particularly via banks and the growth of ETFs. Any setback or shift in Ripple's business can directly affect the demand and market sentiments around XRP. The launch of EVM sidechain makes XRP compatible with Ethereum's ecosystem, but brings a new risk around bridge security. The history of bridge-related hacks in crypto means any breach could be damaging both financially and reputationally. Ripple's introduction for RLUSD for regulated markets like the US raises questions about XRP's long-term utility. In fact, XRP Ledger does not use XRP for US operations. Institutions are more likely to prefer stable, regulatory-friendly settlement assets over more volatile XRP. Even as XRP claims that both tokens can work together, it's highly doubtful that it will be. Now, despite having 120 validators on the XRP ledger, consensus is primarily managed by a core group of approximately 35 entities in the default unique node list. Ripple's significant token holding and control over the escrow releases contribute to fear that the network and supply dynamics are more centralized than other competing blockchains. XRP faces stiff competition not just from rival blockchains like Stellar, which shares Ripple original vision and technology, but also from rapidly evolving legacy financial networks such as Swift, as well as the explosive rise of stablecoins like USDT and USDC, and the upcoming CBDCs. Each of these alternatives provide institutions with faster, safer, and sometimes more compliant solutions for cross-border payments. Now, although XRP burns a tiny portion of tokens with every transaction, less than 0.014% of the supply has been destroyed in over a decade. This minor deflationary effect to the ongoing monthly unlock from Ripple's escrow, meaning that ample supply will remain an issue in the near future. Most XRP holders keep their token on centralized exchanges, while Ripple's primary use case for holding XRP token often appears to be selling them for operational revenue. This thing can lead to an ongoing selling pressure and undermine the community-driven ethos of decentralized cryptocurrencies. Now for the multi-million-dollar question, where could XRP price go? Current market cap of XRP is around $180 billion at the price of $3 for one XRP token. The price of one XRP token in Indian centralized exchanges is around 300 rupees. XRP price was 6 times lower in October 2024, just a few months ago. So could the price go up 6 times higher from here? XRP spot ETF approval could trigger significant price action, similar to what we saw in Bitcoin's ETF. And Ripple Institutional Services could provide good marketing for XRP. It can also reduce the selling pressure from Ripple itself. Following XRP's future ETF approval in July 2025 and the speculation, analysts think that XRP could go as high as $6 or 500 rupees in this year, and even $26 or more than 2,200 rupees in a few years by 2028. I mean, if Ripple is able to capture even 20% of $150 trillion of SWIFT's annual cross-border payment market, even if they are partially successful, it could mean trillions of dollars worth of transactions on XRP ledger every year. This alone could take the valuation of XRP to even 10 times or 20 times from the current valuation. But there's a massive supply overhang from Ripple's holding, and monthly escrow releases creates constant selling pressure. And regulations could force Ripple to stop using XRP for transactions like in the US. Now, with billions of tokens held with Ripple, XRP needs massive marketing to drive meaningful price increases along with regulatory support. As always in crypto, never invest more than what you can afford to lose. XRP has shown it can be extremely volatile, and the past performance does not guarantee future results. XRP is listed on all major cryptocurrency exchanges in India and is available over 80 exchanges worldwide. But if you want to support me, you can use my referral link mentioned in the description below. So there you have it, XRP in all its complexity. XRP remains to be the most fascinating and widely known projects in crypto. And I think despite being the oldest crypto from 2012, with so many issues that we discussed, XRP stands strong at top 3 crypto, even after so many years. I mean, that tells something about XRP, right? But I want to know what you think after watching this video. Let me know that in the comment section below. Now, whether XRP succeeds or not, but now you know about XRP. So share this knowledge with your friends and tell them about this video. Making such long, detailed videos is very time consuming and takes a lot of efforts. So please consider supporting me by smashing that like button and subscribing to my channel. If you want to know in detail about Bitcoin mining, then check out my video by clicking here. It's full of interesting facts I'm sure you didn't know about. But that's it for this video. Thanks a lot for watching till the end, and until next time, stay safe and trust nobody.